Hey there! Oh, shit.
This is Dan.
This is Eric.
And Dr. Aggro.
From GigaBoots.com, and welcome to GigaBoots podcast number 52.
Sure.
We're in a room.
Sorry.
We haven't checked. But in any case, this is the Sickcast.
The Phlegmcast.
We had to get rid of Bob because he wasn't ill enough. Actually, no, he's so ill he can't be here.
Too ill. Straight legit.
Is he taking anything?
Yeah, he's taking stuff.
He's taking it like a man.
Oh, well.
We popped in his house to take the mic equipment back. We're taking it back. And I texted him a couple times. I'm like, hey, Eric wants to know if you have, what was it, strep?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes. I'm like, you need help with anything? Because I'm well enough to physically move now. I'm able to help you.
Raka streptococcus.
So what happened? I guess we'll cover that because, we haven't had content on the site in a full week, which is a weird thing nowadays for us, I feel. So what happened is we did a New Year's party. But Eric was sick before that.
I think we should, tracing the chronology.
Wait. I'm going to give broad strokes, and then we're going to do the detective work, okay?
All right.
So, we did a New Year's party. Eric was sick at that. It was at his place.
Yeah.
But he was, wrapped up in blankets and, barely involved because he was checked out, which I understood a few days later, in any case. So, we're doing that. Aggro here was too sick to come, so he's at his house. Mm. And at the end of this party, Jay from Hail Zeon starts, shivering and being super cold, which the house was cold, so it wasn't that suspect, but it was it isn't that much colder now than it was a bit ago. Mm-hmm. You okay, man? And he's just like, oh, man, I feel like shit, and he kept coughing and shit. And we got him out of there, and, the whole thing was wrapping up anyways. It was about 7 a.m., 8 a.m. So everyone leaves. And for 2 days, you can see the tweets from me. I'm just like, man, New Year's was so fucking good. I fucking had, what was it? I had a surge already to drink today, and I'm still not feeling awake.
Yeah.
And then eventually I realized that wasn't a being tired from New Year's. That was a being sick from New Year's.
Your body running down.
And a single day, you go to sleep, you're like, oh, that's weird. I don't feel great.
Oh,
this could be bad.
That's some rapid onset shit we had.
The next day, it's like, I feel dead.
Right?
Help.
So, now the detective work. How the fuck did this happen? Okay, so Aggro.
Right.
You were telling me earlier that via the magic of Facebook, you were being told by a relative that you were the cause. You were, what was it? What's the term? Case zero?
Patient
zero.
Which... Patient zero, in your case, would be my mother.
Yeah.
That's as far back as we can trace it.
Because I was suggesting we kill you at midnight and drink your blood just to
She
cure
had this
ourselves.
shit 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
I had it, and I was fucking laid out. Because I remember I went bowling the day before. I was fine. Woke up in the morning, I'm like, oh, man, I feel kind of sick. I'm a little sore, but that might be from bowling. 2 hours later...
Wait, I'm sorry. You were sore from bowling?
Let's see, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like...
how intense was your bowling game?
Well, okay,
Never mind.
No, wait. Just seriously, to go into that topic for just a moment. He has huge hands, like myself.
Okay.
His hands are bigger than mine. Mine are fairly... In any case, you gotta get a really heavy bowling ball to fit your fingers in.
Sometimes.
Because they scale the weight with the finger holes.
So, it varies.
And depending on the way you throw the ball, you could easily
I'm
just
a tall-ass motherfucker. I gotta get down there.
Yeah. It's weird.
I
When I
wasn't
used
in
to have
pain from bowling. I had a little muscle sore.
You're just Flintstoning over the head, rolling it down.
So you've seen me bowl.
Oh, okay, good.
2 hours later, slight muscle soreness had evolved into bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
My mother's like, do you want to go to the doctor? Okay, the flu's the thing where if you don't go, that day, they don't give you the medicine, right? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, let's go to the doctor.
Let's do that. The one where I get drugs.
Now here's where we get to the part where Jay gets this disease and takes it to the party.
Okay.
Jay knows I have the flu.
Yeah.
Because I'm curled up on the couch watching Steins Gate. Jay watches the first disc of Steins Gate with me.
Wow.
On the couch right next to me.
Good call, Jay.
Oh. What?
But then the question becomes, how did you get sick?
I don't know. I think I just...
Yeah, you have strep. We had the flu.
Yeah, I just woke up one day and was like, I have a kind of a sore throat. And then it kind of progressed. It was like, okay, it's a sore throat. Okay, it's probably some sort of head cold. Something stuck in my sinus cavity, whatever. But then the day of party comes, and I'm like getting fevers of like 102. And I'm like, I just gotta prepare for the party. Tossing chairs, vacuuming shit. And then at the end of the party, I was like, I'm gonna sit in the corner for a little bit, make sure everyone's happy, and then I'm gonna go to fuck to bed at like 10 or 11. Wake up periodically to make sure people are okay, and also because I can't sleep because I'm fucking sick. And then,
God, I love that.
yeah.
You have an enormous amount of phlegm in your respiratory system. Now lie down.
Oh, yeah.
That'll go great.
No. And I just suffered through the entire weekend after that, and the fever. Just, I was so delirious. I felt so often just looking at myself from outside of my body, just touching things. Is like, is this here? Am I here? When am I? For days, and then I finally went to the doctors on Monday. I was like, yeah, you have strep. Holy shit.
Strep and pneumonia?
Potentially pneumonia. They
okay.
x-rayed me for pneumonia. I'm taking, as part of my ongoing disease of ulcerative colitis, where I'm lowering my immune system so it doesn't kill me, it also makes it so other things can kill me because I have a lower immune system.
Right.
So we have to watch out for make sure I don't die from that sort of shit. But I think it was just a weird x-ray.
So you currently might have pneumonia.
Maybe. I don't think
Dan,
so, though.
you pulled me here to sit in a small room with a man who might have
Is pneumonia contagious? I don't
know.
I don't think so.
It's one of those diseases that orphans die from in movies.
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct.
But, sad, lonely, cold orphans. Do I look like... well...
It's also the kind of disease where, like, Grandpa would die from it if my grandpa weren't a fucking badass. Oh, he has pneumonia again. Yeah, that ain't gonna fucking...
No,
I'll bring my car by tomorrow.
That'll make
He'll
him
help me.
angry.
I realized I had a weird disassociation.
Fucking pneumonia. Poor pneumonia. Fucking Grandpa's gonna fuck it up.
I had a weird disassociation in my head between the flu and influenza. I have them separated in my head as the flu's the one you get and you're fine, and influenza's the one that killed thousands of people. So I'm in the doctor's office and she says influenza, and like my blood runs cold. I said, what? Oh, right. We just have medicine for that now.
Oh, whoops, right.
I'm looking up if pneumonia is contagious.
Oh, good. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I think she said it was just like a weird x-ray like hiccup, so like it could be, but maybe not. But you definitely have strep. Oh, you have that.
The interesting thing here is it's like you don't catch pneumonia. You catch the bugs that cause it.
So yeah, no, it's
like
you so they stuck my ass full of antibiotics
Nice.
for the first day, and then I'd been taking antibiotics ever since, and I immediately felt like, oh wow, I have hands that could do things again. Yeah, so I started feeling much better.
Yeah, I've had strep a few times. It's one of those fun diseases where, like, the later you catch it, just the worse it's gonna get. Like, okay, we stopped it at a 6. Sorry, you're gonna have to ride that shit out.
Just deal. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the fuck I got. I just know it fucked me hard. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was just blues
it was,
and walking funny the next day.
It was 3 days of a fever dream, falling
Was your throat
asleep.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because I'm talking to him, right? This is my favorite conversation while being sick. I'm texting Eric and I'm like, a weird thing happened while I was taking my meds. I had a Coke Zero and it like gave me a headache. And then I had a second Coke Zero and it gave me a severe migraine. He's like, how the fuck did you drink a Coke? Water burns. And I'm like, yeah, it does. And he's just like, Jesus. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fucked in the head.
You're like, no,
this
I'm
hurts.
sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
What
like,
the,
to me, it's fucked up. Like, I'm like, it hurts a lot. But past it burning that much, it now feels less pain, I think. I don't have any evidence to back this up.
You can numb that shit if you just push past
Right.
it.
So there I am drinking sodas, and it hurts. Dude, the worst part was the Diet Mountain Dew. I tried a little bit of that. That was like fucking boric acid. It was terrible. It was horrible. I took one sip, and I just went... Tosh is like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Because she thinks it's something else, and I'm like, Diet Mountain Dew was a poor choice, and I just, like, I fucking pushed it off.
Yeah, motherfucker, you had strep.
Yeah, so all
So
that
you
burning
pushed
shit.
through strep without antibiotics.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. No.
I mean, you have your immune system lowered by a disease. Bob has his immune system lowered by always having taken meds for every illness he's ever had. So he has like, what do they call that? Greenhouse tomato syndrome, basically, where it's just like, you know, it's raised in such an isolated environment, it's not used to fighting off shit. Like Bob back in high school used to get sick constantly. But in any case, that was but back to the interesting part of this for me, Coke Zero gives you headaches when you're taking medicine at the same time. It wasn't just soda. It wasn't even just diet soda, which is why I drank the Diet Mountain Dew, because I'm a scientist. Even though I'm in fucking miserable pain, I'm like...
Please stop drinking soda when you have strep.
Well, I was drinking tons of water, too. It's just like... The scientist in me went, something about, like, this fucking medicine I'm taking is interacting with this goddamn, like... It was just... Okay, so, like, right. So, let me get back to it. I drink one, minor headache. Drink two, fucking earth-ending migraine. Levels of, like, I'm grabbing my head in, like, screaming pain. Not the throat. Throat, not the problem.
Someone took a needle and hammer to your head and just started hammering.
Yeah, fucking madness. And I'm like, this is how it is to be my mother? Fuck this. She has terrible migraines constantly. In any case. So, it's called My Grandmother. In any case, moving on. But... Next morning, I'm like, oh, God, that was horrible. I thought it was from the coughing. The constant coughing must have caused a peak in my headache. And that's... No. I drink one Coke Zero. Everyone in this room is like, you fucking idiot.
Right?
In any case, I drink one Coke Zero, and the minor headache comes back from the first Coke Zero from the prior day, and I'm like...
I wonder if I can get that migraine back.
No. I know better than that.
The scientist in you was killed.
The scientist in me went, is Cheerwine gonna do this to me? So I drink a Cheerwine and I'm fine, so I'm like, fucking knew it. Cheerwine. It's okay to drink whenever. It still burned like hell. But in any case...
No, my last strep was, I did it untreated too. It was way too late for medicine to work. I'm at the point where I might kill myself if I get strep again.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it, man. I hate sore throats. I'm a bitch about sore throats.
Yeah, it's one of the things where, I don't know, like you can have a sore many other things and it's nowhere near as bad.
Being a kid, they're like, swallow this giant pill and you'll feel better. Yeah, saw your hand off and I'll let you go.
Oh, God, no, yeah. No, this isn't even the worst my throat's ever been, because as part of... It's not just ulcerative colitis. Sometimes the ulcers spread other places, like your throat. Imagine having ulcers in your throat and trying to eat or breathe or anything. It's, no.
That sounds pretty fucking awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
And you're like, you know what'll solve this, Coke Zero?
No, goddamn, no.
Let's slam one of those bad boys.
If nothing else, ulcerative colitis has given me perspective on a lot of things, where it's like, well, at least I'm not covered in ulcers.
Yeah.
Job.
God.
Fucking, yeah, so what meds did you take? Sorry if this is boring to everybody else. Like, I'm just fascinated. I like detailing the epic 10-day sickness.
The illness, the laid up in bed. I just took a bunch of... past a certain point, cough meds were just not doing anything. So it was like cold meds, and then I was worried I was doing too much of that. So then my head started expanding with I don't know, congestion, and my ears started the eardrums started popping out, and I was like, okay, time to maybe decongest, or I'm seeing a doctor in a day. Let's just do this.
Feeling like your head is expanding. Maybe less cold medicine and more ergot poisoning?
Maybe. It might be. It could have been anything. Okay. I would have believed you at a certain point in that illness.
So, were you ever, like, lying in bed, say, covered in tons of blankets or whatever, and you're sweating, but you're convinced you're cold? Like,
yeah, that's the fever. That's the fever.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
I'm very familiar with that.
I was wearing 2 shirts, a jacket, full pants and socks, and I'm in bed, sweating my fucking... Tosh went to bed with me. Every day of this.
Okay.
We didn't have any disinfectant spray in the house to even marginally try to not have germs all over the fucker. Did not get sick.
I see.
Yep.
I was impressed over my status of fighting this off and not catching shit in general.
She
now
was at
she
ground
takes
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If ground zero kept happening every day,
We need her blood.
We need your blood. We're going to make a new god.
Filipinos are the master race, clearly.
Clearly. They come from a mean-ass country full of disease and theft.
You get +2 on saving throws versus poison and advantage on tank flipping.
Yes. Gotcha.
They're like, I have these conversations with her mom, and her mom's like, yeah, no, in the Philippines, you don't keep things like that because the front door is unlocked and, people could just come in and take it. I'm like, oh my God, people rob you? And she's like, no, it's different over there. And I'm like, you just described theft. How is that different over there? And she's like, no, like they just come in and they help themselves to your things. And they take them and you don't know who they are. And I'm like,
It's called burglary. That's called they steal
and
your
I've
shit.
still never quite, and Toast just left to the Philippines, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, so they're probably going to steal my girlfriend.
Gotcha.
That's unfortunate, but oh well. At least she's not sick for it. Maybe
Send
she'll
it-
keep
send
a
it-
tiny trace of it on her arm and she
Send
can
it
just...
over there with the American diseases and see how they like it.
Oh God, that would be fucked up. But nothing new.
That's what
We're gonna
history is.
Christopher Columbus.
Welcome
New
to
World
white
shit.
man diseases.
Enjoy that.
They're like, oh God, my iPad, it's losing its charge. There's no Wi-Fi around here. And then they just die in the streets.
Yep.
So, have you guys played any video games?
Yeah, I did. Well, you've been sick the least amount.
Well, I was sick earliest.
Yes.
Yes, he
so
was sick the least amount.
least
so-
amount recently,
during
I guess. So,
since New Year's, since our last podcast.
Yeah,
like
so
you
I
were-
got sick like 2 days after our podcast.
so have you been playing anything?
I actually, for some reason, booted up a copy of Civ 5 I've had on my computer forever.
Oh,
Right?
go on.
So now I've played Civilization instead of just owning it.
Oh, good. Wow.
How's that going for you?
I learned something about the way the AI works.
Yeah.
Everybody's super excited about having open border treaties with you. They're super excited about that so they can just move a bunch of shit into your territory and then declare war.
Oh.
Yeah. Seems
Also,
about right.
Gandhi. I thought
Yep.
people were kidding
No.
about
I
Gandhi.
thought that was a joke?
No.
You think this is a game?
Oh my god, fuck that guy.
Militant motherfucker.
I started playing on difficulty levels where Gandhi just doesn't show up anymore.
God.
I was super excited about this game. I'm like, it's an RTS, but it's turn-based. That's awesome, and you don't have to destroy everyone. You can like send a spaceship to Alpha Centauri and win a cultural victory.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and everything was going super well. I had adopted all these social policies for fucking making friends with everyone and the equality, and then Singapore gets all fucking bitch face at me. Singapore builds this city right up on my junk and then sends me a message, hey, you need to stop just fucking claiming all the land you want. It's annoying.
Oh.
People who don't wear shirts can't talk to me that way. So I get up an army and I go wreck that city he built. I'm the only person on the board with catapults. Because that's how my tech tree went. I wreck his city so hard when he goes, hey, maybe let's not fight anymore. He offers me, like, here's 130 gold, here's 10 gold a turn, here's a shit ton of horses, here's some marble, here's some incense. Here's this other city I own.
You know, the one you haven't fucked wrecked yet.
But the thing is, like, you got the city I just destroyed, or really conquered, and then right above that was his capital. And then above that was the city he gave me. So now his capital's sitting in between two cities that I own now.
Uh-oh.
And it's too late. It's too fucking late to stop this. So I wait the 10 turns our peace treaty lasted and I fucking steamroll his capital and then his last city. And he's like, you will forever be known as the bully of the week. I'm like, put a shirt on, you bastard. You are the sovereign of a nation. Wear a shirt.
You can even say no fat chicks. I don't care. It's a shirt.
And then Singapore's gone, and I've converted all of his cities. I've annexed them. I've gotten their happiness levels back up. Everything's cool, and I'm sitting there with like 4 catapults and an army of archers and cavalry, and nothing to do with it. Sorry, China.
Christ.
So I completely heel turned into, I don't know anything about building spaceships, but I do know how to lay siege to towns.
I bet I could conquer someone who knows how to build spaceships.
Then it's gonna be just me.
Man, fucking... Yeah, I don't know.
I
Like,
call that a cultural victory. Now everyone's wearing a shirt.
because we killed everyone who wasn't.
Rome's next. The whole game, Rome's been fucking denouncing me to all the world leaders. I haven't done shit to Rome. Rome built a giant wall, and he's the only other person on the board with an army.
That sounds like, honestly, what would you do? Would you do that?
So I'm finishing up China. I'm gonna go south, and I don't know. I may leave Egypt alone. Egypt and me are bros, or rather, Egypt's the only one who hasn't been a dick to me.
Yeah.
This is why I've never played The Sims, because this happened to me immediately upon playing Civ. Like,
You're like, I'm gonna make a nice little house. They're gonna have a family. And what if I just murdered all of these guys?
you live at my discretion. No, I don't want to put myself in that position, because that's where it's going.
Meanwhile,
Breed for me.
it says a lot about Bob's brother that he tried to find the most creative ways to kill the Sims just without direct action. For example, making the way to the mailbox / front door so long that they shit and pissed themselves on the way and passed out in the hedge maze.
Did he actually put hedges in the house?
No. The house was... It was amazing. The house was floating on a stick.
Okay.
So there was only one exit, all the way at the back of the hedge maze. So the house is like one tiny room, and you just crawl down, you get out, and you have to walk through this enormous fucking labyrinth in order to escape just to answer the door. So people come by constantly.
Avon calling, no!
Yeah. Horrible. Horrible.
Curse my desire to answer the door for every instance.
And then they starve to death. So that's fun.
That's cool.
Apparently.
Yay.
If you're Bob's brother.
I guess.
Wonder why Bob turned out the way he did. So, hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Did you play any games?
I managed to play a little bit past my FIFA games. I believed that I was a farmer for a little bit. That turned out well. I think I had a daughter who got cholera. I don't know. Anyway, but I actually played... Just recently, I played a couple of the free games that were released for the new month of PS Plus.
Yes.
Which was the Swapper, which is a little puzzle game that's also really creepy. It looks like it's made of claymation in the creepiest possible way. Where you're making it's called the Swapper because you get in the first second a gun that makes clones of yourself, and you could swap your soul with the husk to solve puzzles. And it's just like a fun puzzle game until you think about it for more than 3 seconds. You're like, oh Jesus!
Up next, The Grifter, the puzzle game.
I haven't really gotten too much into it, but it's fun. It's a cool little puzzle game. It's also got this really creepy atmosphere, space station feel. It's just like, I don't like this, but I'm gonna keep going to see just how much I don't like this.
That's the sweet spot.
Oh yeah. And then I tried out the infamous First Light for a little bit, which it seems fun. I mean, again, just a little bit of taste kind of thing. I finally get booted up Black Flag, Assassin's Creed, again for only just a little bit, and I was like, this is okay. Yeah, it's neat. The thing I have to actually talk about, I've been playing for a little bit, was Tales of Hearts R. I downloaded just before getting sick, and then played a little bit again recently. And that game I hadn't played a Tales game in a while.
Yeah.
I like the Tales games. They're basically the only bastion I have left for Star Ocean, because those fuckers at Tri-Ace don't want to make anything else.
No.
So I'm playing this game, and it's like, okay, this is pretty Talesy, you know, big open field, fight monsters, do stuff. It's kind of barren. It's like a port from a DS game a while back.
Yeah.
Or 3DS, I don't know.
Yeah, 3DS.
It's interesting. I'm at a, like, it's like, it feels safe and good to play. Like, I understand this. I like this. I like this a little better than regular turn-based RPGs. I always have. But the systems in it are a little weird because the combat introduced early on that as you start hitting enemies, eventually they'll get super mad and they'll try and hit you kind of hard. A little harder than normal. So it's like, okay. And if you block it at the right time, you can turn it around and, you know, negate it and do some damage back to them. Problem is, they always, I've never seen it any other time, always get angry at like the end of your combo, where you have a cooldown time of at least like a couple seconds, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit you now. I can't input. I can't even block. I can't do shit." Bam. Okay. Why is this system here? Fuck you. Maybe I just want to beat up on an enemy until they die and not have them go, "Oh wait, no, I'm gonna hit you back." Eventually, you can get it so you hit them enough, and then you can execute like the chase system where you knock them up in the air and you press square and you zip up next to them and you start air comboing them and you can hit them back down and zip next to them again. It's a cool little system.
Yeah. How's the story?
The story is like it involves hearts and souls. Basically, your souls and feelings are an actual physical thing in your body.
That's never not dangerous.
Yeah, and like the very first thing that happens is you meet a girl who, like, a witch hits her with a spell and her heart shards just go pow and go across the world. Of course, she's special, so the heart's like the negative emotions, like her thing of doubt makes this entire town full of assholes who doubts everyone.
And now we've got to put the Shikon Jewel back together.
Basically that, yes. And all the characters, I don't want to say I hate them, but they're all kind of douches. Like, the first character you get is like her brother, who is like the biggest asshole in the world. Like, holy shit, he won the asshole contest. The biggest one. And then you meet this guy who has like a leopard print jacket and sunglasses in this vaguely medieval world.
Nice.
Who also, all your weapons are manifest from your heart soul.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone has a different kind of weapon. The main character is also a tool. He has like just a regular sword, but as you level up, like, you can change the look and appearance and stats of your little weapon thing. So that's neat. I like that.
Yeah.
Instead of going from town to town, like, oh, this sword is inexplicably better, just enough that only you sell, and the next town's probably going to have a better one for some reason. It's like, no, I leveled up my heart soul, and now I have an axe that looks this way. Go ahead.
No, that never seemed weird to me growing up.
Yeah.
Specifically because of where I grew up. You've got Valparaiso here,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And it's just the smallest town around. And right next door you got Niceville. It's where all the stores are. It's where all the restaurants are. So it's you get out of the farming village, you go to town 1.
I see.
You go down the highway in either direction, you hit Destin and Fort Walton.
Gotcha.
Even bigger, all the cool stuff. You keep going, you hit Panama City and Pensacola. So RPGs made perfect sense to me that you just keep hitting bigger and bigger cities down the road.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
I was like 19. I was, oh shit.
What was it? Then the next character you get is like tiny anime girl with a big hat and her weapon's a paintbrush, and she's a caster because, of course, fucking anime girls. But then finally, a character that I can get behind is this lady who just has the biggest sword axe thing you've ever seen in your life, and she'll just punch a hole in a wall because she feels like it. It's like,
okay,
you are on my team, anime girl, get out.
You are going to be my rock.
I need my Dogi surrogate.
Please, yes, I do.
It's important that people put brick walls in their goddamn place.
Yes. Also, there's this stupid, like, I don't know. I'm waiting for the story to get vaguely interesting in the way that the other Tales games kind of got eventually.
Kind of got vaguely interesting, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best game.
How's your JRPG going?
I mean, well, that's about, yeah.
See, I prefer a JRPG that's up its own ass to, like, Tales... the Tales of series, my experience is that one for the Wii that was a sequel to the GameCube one. Do you remember which one?
Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World.
Yeah. I sat in on enough cutscenes to go, oh, fuck.
Courage is the magic that turns dreams into reality.
That's why we keep saying
Direct
that. It's
quote
from that fucking
from that game. Yeah.
But courage is...
You shut the fuck up! It's true, but why you gotta say it?
You're talking to a motherfucker who comes from a place of fucking friendship being magic in a very real, tangible sense in the show I watch.
Which show would that be?
I don't want to blow your mind
A
here.
show where friendship might be
is
magic?
Is that Doug?
They made a Warhammer cartoon in the 80s.
Oh.
Yeah, that was it.
I haven't seen that.
Those robot suits run on friendship.
That explains the universe a bit more.
Was that red stuff running down their face visors? That was the friendship?
That was boat nectar.
Okay.
For all I know of the Warhammer universe, that shit could run on friendship.
Real quick.
Wouldn't that be the most hilarious thing?
Aggro.
The dead god emperor runs on friendship.
Dead God Emperor.
That's a real thing.
No. I'm laughing about the idea of the Dead God Emperor running on friendship. Oh man, come on, come over, hang out. Oh, I grow weaker with every time I don't bro out.
Bring you the Parcheesi or all the warp gates will die.
What do you mean the keg's not gonna show up? All these people are gonna leave. Ah! But in any case, friendship or mooches, I don't know. In any case, and he doesn't either. I'm sort of dragging you,
okay,
Eric, and the audience along for this. Hey, Aggro.
Yeah.
So I'm at a friend of Tosh's house. Tosh and this friend, both in high school, 3 years behind us. Mm-hmm. So they were freshmen while we were seniors. Mm. And she has this drawing from high school.
Oh God.
And it's Sashomaru, or Moroku. Wait, shit, fuck. Inuyasha characters. Bad guy.
Sashomaru?
Okay, yeah.
Naraku.
Is it? No, it's Sashomaru.
Okay.
I don't think it was Naraku. Describe Naraku.
Brown hair.
Yeah, okay. Sashomaru. So in any case, it's Sashomaru cooking.
Huh.
And I'm like, this seems familiar. I could have sworn this was in that art contest. So without saying too much, I'm like, hey, was this first or second year you were in anime club? So in any case, she's like, I think it was second. And I'm like, well, she's wrong, but I'm not going to tell her because that's going to show my hand. So then she talks about, and then I designed this thing, and she shows the drawing, and it looks really familiar, and she's like, this was a logo I designed for the anime club, and, they said they were going to turn it into t-shirts, but then they fucking didn't, and, we didn't have a good logo, we just had this. I wanted to do something a bit more fancy, but we went with this, and then they didn't even make a t-shirt out of it, those assholes. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, next time we record a podcast, I'm going to talk to Aggro about this. Because I was in that room when that bitch was... She was like, they didn't turn it in. Yeah, bitch, it cost money. Oh, shit. I was in charge of that.
Oh, yeah.
Him and I were the two people in charge of that. You know why we don't have t-shirts? That shit costs money.
It does.
We can't even get those assholes to... What was it? We had a float. Mm-hmm. We couldn't even get those assholes to make the goddamn float. How the hell were we going to do a fundraiser?
You ever try to get money from high school students? Christ.
Yeah. Blood from a stone. But I swear to God, if we sold Twinkies, we made that money in a fucking week. Goddamn fat asses.
We just had a Pocky supply back then.
Yeah. I think we talked about that.
Straight from the Pocky fields, you flew in on a plane.
Yeah. High quality import stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then I know that would result in somebody just buying their own Pocky, bringing it in, and giving it to people. Mm-hmm. So that we would have to change it every week.
There were a lot of attempts to make money off of the anime club, but it all would have ended in chaos. It was like herding cats.
Yeah, it was. It was exactly like that.
Except the cats were just super racist.
Oh, cool. What?
Yeah. Anime club was super racist.
In what way do you think?
Well, in both that I think you're thinking of.
Okay.
On the one hand, you had all the weeaboos. Being a weeaboo is super racist.
It is.
But then behind that, you had this undercurrent of traditional racism.
Because we're in the South.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have this kid called the Mexijew.
Yes, that is fucking true. I completely forgot until you just said it.
Then we had Chris Sipe and Black Chris.
Yep.
We could have just called him Chris, because we called Chris Sipe.
Yeah.
But we had Chris Sipe and Black Chris.
I remember, wasn't there a thing of, like, with Black Chris where, like, what's your last name? And his last name didn't sound as good as Chris Sipe. Like, that just runs together. So, yeah, that's how that happened. Mexijew.
Yeah, the Mexijew.
You know, the reason why that, and I really wasn't that angry as she was doing this, because this was, like, me from 10 years ago. Fuck that guy. In any case.
Yeah, that guy was a dick.
Yeah, that guy was a dick. But in any case, maybe 10 years from now. Fuck 10 years ago, man. Yeah. That was the last year of me being in anime club, because it was in high school, and I was a part of I forget my role on the board. It was some fucking tertiary
I think you were officially someone I could get to fucking show up to meetings.
Yeah. I mean, we had a president, vice president, and then, like, some term for me that I totally forgot. But in any case, we fucking, like, we legitimately tried to do something. Every time we tried, like, there was something. Oh, you can't sell food and drink. Well, why can't we? Because you're just some kids in a classroom, and you can't do that. It's like, are you fucking serious? Venuti was an asshole. The whatever his name, or whatever his role was, basically the police dude.
Oh, that
the
guy.
security,
The resource
whatever.
officer.
Resource officer.
That's what they're called.
Oh wow. Okay. In any
Did he
case-
make sure everyone had enough SP and gas?
I don't know.
Yeah. Never had enough.
Motherfuckers out there on the football field constructing additional pylons.
What was it? Some of the shit that I heard they ended up doing to him to break him eventually, years past us leaving.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Like, they were just like, yeah, we started flooding with so much anime, he eventually just let us have it. Like, oh, okay,
What?
we're pushing these 3 box sets through approval because he was supposed to. There was a point
we did
where
that to Fantasky early on when we were there. He's like, I need to approve everything. We're like, all right, motherfucker, get out the weird shit.
maybe I am thinking of Fantastic.
Break out the what's to go to. Break out the Bible.
I think
Black.
somebody like here's all of Inuyasha, motherfucker. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, what was it? They would do really weird shit of, like, the tamest thing you could ever find and really hardcore shit. Just keep coupling them together, so that way no matter
False
how
sense of
weird
security.
no matter how weird the tame shit was compared to the fucked up shit, he would just be like, yeah, this one, of course.
What's that one?
Jesus.
Oh yeah, isn't that like the South Park method?
That's general censorship workarounds. Animaniacs even did that.
Oh, yeah.
Where they would write a really extreme joke next to a pretty extreme joke. And then, because of how far they took it, they would then just get away with the other one. Because they're now distracted and like, what the fuck? You can't have them do that.
You just can't have tits. What?
Why does Dot have tits? Speaking of which, one of the worst things I saw on Amazon, instant video, was this thing called Fritz the Cat. The 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat.
Yes.
Have you seen this?
I saw that when I was like 10.
You poor fucking creature.
Right?
You poor
That's
fucking
one of those
creature.
scarring things.
It's really fucked. Really fucked. You know how I was just talking about Dot with tits, right?
Parents look over, it's a cartoon, everything's fine.
God damn! Holy shit! Are you serious?
I assume that's why I was allowed to keep watching it.
So, okay. I don't even know how to... Okay.
I assume it's
so
a cartoon that
it's
has...
a stoner movie
Okay.
with a good bit of cursing that has tits drawn on cats overly. Like, yes,
it.
cats have tits, but, anthropomorphic cats, of course.
Human tits.
But yeah, so, like, the first cat is just this haggard old, bitch wife stereotype, where she's overweight and, thighs look terrible, and she's got giant, dumpy boobs.
Right.
And she's breastfeeding the cat. That's the opening to this. While she's screaming at her stoner husband, who's just like, who's Fritz the cat? Who's fucking stoned out of his mind on the couch staring at water. And she just keeps cursing at him. the next scene is him nailing another sexy cat. Sexy cat. Quotations here. I was remarkably uncomfortable very fast. And I'm like, turn
Done.
that off. And I'm done. But then Tosh was like, oh, you watched that without me? And I'm like, yeah, it's really fucked up and terrible. So, of course, we watch it.
Right.
Because that's how that works.
Like you do.
So we watch even further this time. That shit just gets weirder and weirder as it goes. To the point of like, yeah, now we cut to World War II when Cat Hitler and Cat Hitler's many bitches, or Cat Hitler's underlings' many daughters, are fucking Fritz the cat. And then he escapes and gets into Hitler's army, and it is fucking weird. It just keeps going. And you're just like, fucking movie. Come on, be reasonable. That was probably the worst thing. Along came a spider. I just went, oh, okay. I don't care where this is going. I'm turning you off. But yeah, I didn't play any video games. So you want to know why?
Why?
PlayStation Plus ran out. I don't own video games.
Oh, that's right.
I actually have Battlefield 4, Killzone Shadowfall, and a couple others. But my PS4 was at Bob's house, firstly. So Infamous is on that.
I could have let you borrow Dragon Age. That would have been a fun time, I think, for you.
Probably, yeah, that would have been my pace. See, the main reason why I didn't want to play Killzone or Battlefield is because it's like, yeah, no, I don't feel like moving.
Yeah.
Do I want to really articulate? Yeah, no, fuck that. But
Wandering around the hinterlands for 80 hours. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You could even get a horse.
I can get a horse.
I know, right?
You guys have talked about this game this much and you didn't mention that? That shit's like Ocarina of Time, yo!
That fucking horse, man. It's kind of a terrible horse.
Yeah, it's the game is not geared towards horses because it involves at every single point while you're walking, pinging constantly to see where all the resources
If I'm on
are.
the horse, I have fucked up and just need to be on the other side of the map.
Yeah. Given how many friggin' teleport points there are, too, like horses.
I think you can get like cooler mounts.
Yeah, I got like a weird Drago horse thing. But it's basically imagine a horse, but instead of a horse head, it's some weird fucked up dragon thing that looks derpy and its eyes are going the other directions.
Done.
Okay.
Imagined.
You can have that. that is the end of that.
Enjoy that mind smorgasbord.
But yeah, so not too many.
Yeah.
Not
That's
too
still
many.
happening.
Not too many video games. Maybe soon. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. By the way, I meant to ask, how was that New Year's party held in my house?
Fucking great.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I guess we should talk about that.
I need you to tell me about that so I can live vicariously through it. Because
Okay, good.
I was
And our listeners can too, which I sort of planned on, but then totally forgot.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm on top of things.
so
Let me tell you. So, okay, we did our New Year's party.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 2 years since we did a New Year's party, I'm pretty sure. Or I did, at least. So most years, what we hinged on was LAN games. We would have like 8 to 12 different PS3s hooked up and like Call of Duty and Uncharted and stuff like that.
In spaces that you wouldn't think would be able to get 8 to 12 PS3s into.
Yes,
That was always the most fun part.
We're fucking champions. But now everyone has so large of a TV, I don't even know.
Right? It's becoming a problem.
It is. A fucking epidemic. But in any case, this year, not because I was lazy or didn't want to set up as much, I felt the strongest games were kind of like single screen experiences. Like Towerfall and Nidhogg and Smash Bros. 8-player.
Joust.
And yeah, Johann Sebastian Joust. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to arrange a party. We're going to do one screen. Bob was nervous about this, and Bob was very apprehensive, and he's like, I don't know, I think people are going to get bored. And I'm like, I don't know, it's a social situation. We always have people who are going to be in the kitchen at any given time talking. Because, people like to talk.
Also
Turns
eat.
out. Talk
Right.
and eat. Oh, hey, dogs. We should have got them all excited.
Oh, no.
We went and pet the dogs in between segments here. But in any case. What? How did you get them excited?
No reason.
You ever play Red Rocket? No. Okay.
Continue the story.
In any case, fine. So whatever. But I was like, no, yeah, people are going to want to talk. They're going to want to eat. And I feel like enough people are not going to want to actively be involved with the game at any point just because they're relaxing. Also, this is our first New Year's where liquor's here.
There's also a bit of a spectator
strong
bit to
effort.
It.
Yeah.
May not want to watch.
Yeah.
Or may not want to play or
Yeah.
take breaks.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, this is a more chill atmosphere I'm trying to go for here, and setting up my 12-hour playlist of music and shit like that. And
Pikachu was my very first Pokemon.
When did that play?
oh man, I can't remember, but it did.
Nice.
I was laughing my ass off, and people were just like, "What the?" Oh yeah. Because there were enough people where enough time had passed, or they just had never heard it.
Oh yeah.
There were enough people in that situation where it's just like, "What the fuck is with this playlist?" But yeah, it turned out really great. We brought Eric's TV out in the living room just in case that we would need 2 TVs. But after a little bit, I was like, okay, yeah, no, we're fine. Whatever, fuck it. We don't need this shit. 8-player Smash was definitely the game. We played that about 70%, 60% of the time throughout the whole 12-hour.
In terms of sheer joy had, from what I saw, Joust was a big hit.
Yeah, Johann Sebastian Joust was a very close second. It was just everybody.
That's really
was
what I
fucking
regret
loving.
not being there for.
Oh man,
Me and my low center of gravity were sick at home.
Fucking what was it? Jay at one point, no shit, my short Filipino girlfriend gets the back of her knee kicked in by Jay. So for the people who don't know, Johann Sebastian Joust, you're holding a PlayStation Move controller. You're not supposed to move it, but you're supposed to make other people move theirs. And Jay just straight up steps on the back of her leg to make her move. And she's just like, that's some fucked up shit. So starting the next round, she's just on the ground. Shifting around. Because she's short as fuck already. Her crouching is 2 feet tall.
Damn.
She's just getting people.
Fucking switch up the meta.
I invited my old coworker, James Gilmore, to come. She had never seen him in this light. And she's just like, he's intense. He was really intense in there. It was great. It was watching a man who's just normally so chill with whatever's going on into hunter mode. It was fucking really cool. But yeah, we had lots of food. In fact, too much. We need to dial back on that. But yeah, because... Oh, yeah, pro tip for everyone out there. Do not get tortilla scoops. What is that?
Tostitos scoops?
Tostitos scoops that are baked.
Yeah? Yeah.
Somebody brought those to the party, and they weren't even opened during the party. I just opened them yesterday.
Shattered.
They're gross.
They're gross?
They're rock salt. It's the weirdest shit. They're way saltier than normal because the greasiness of a fried chip actually dials back a bit on the salty taste. You wouldn't think, because I like normal baked chips. I don't have a problem with that. But just the chip by itself was so insanely goddamn salty. I'm like, I can't even eat this with anything. We had dip left over, and it was like, this is ruining the dip.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was fucking impressive. I'm not a guy who's like, oh, this is too salty. I mean, I eat some of the shit that Tosh's mom cooks, and that stuff, very fishy, very salty sort of stuff can come out of that.
So I know, okay, so the party started with a bunch of Smash and then moved to Joust. What was
Moved
after
to Joust. After Joust, so it started hitting midnight, and we were like, hey, yeah, we're actually going to pay attention this year and do something at midnight. So we turned on the TV, and we turned
Is
to...
it 2015? It's 20. I just kicked your ass in Warhawk.
Yeah, that is what happened one of the years. But fucking... we turned the TV to one of the local stations that's doing Panama City or Pensacola or whatever, their celebration or whatever. And then it's like, Happy New Year's, everybody. Brett, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I have to be honest. So then Brett, it's like, hey guys, let's break things up. I brought a board game. He brought a board game called The Brand Game. This thing was the worst goddamn board game I've ever fucking played, and it rolled out over the next hour and 15 minutes at the party. It was incredible. Each card has 5 questions. The other side of the card says what the category is, and you're supposed to guess what brand these things are. But this thing is insidious. It's not like, what company has the I'm loving it? What company has, like, that, whatever. That could be fun. This thing is like, what brand of genetically modified wheat is sold because of its ability to deter this type of pest?
What?
Other things are like, what German company is known for making jewelry and pens? I'm like, okay, Bic. But they were, or it was watches and pens or something like that. It was something where Bic would actually work. And it was this other thing none of us have ever heard of. And it was a name that meant castle, basically.
Okay.
And I should have known, or peak, or mountain, because the other side of the card just said one word that meant whatever it was, like castle or mountain. And I was like, oh. And this was grueling. Like, no one was doing well at this except for the guy who bought it, because it's a box full of questions. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he's heard the answers to these at some point.
Yeah.
And he made a full ring in before I just had to go, Brett, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. There are 4 rings on this board. I'm not going to let this take the next 3 hours of this party. I'm calling it here. You won. Good job.
Yeah.
And he was upset. But everyone else at the party was like, they were doing their best to just be polite. Fucking Veronica, hot-blooded Filipina. Mm-hmm. No. She was like, fucking thank you, as soon as I cut it off. Yes. Like, out loud, just like, thank you, Jesus fucking Christ. And she's just like, it was funny because she's quiet, but to me, it's loud because you never hear Veronica really openly do that in a social situation. And she's just like, that was literally a buzz killer. I am sober now because of this game. And she was right, because I was too.
Oh my God.
Never experienced that in my life. Because I guess I don't drink enough. I've never had one of those moments where something was so painstakingly boring that I sobered up. Like, it was incredible. But then, once we passed that threshold, we went into the Nidhogg, and I think we did a bit more of Johann Sebastian Joust. Yeah, we did more Johann Sebastian Joust, then we did Nidhogg, and then we did Towerfall. We did a Nidhogg tournament.
Yeah.
So, something about this party I haven't described. At a certain point in time, a family friend, apparently, of Eric's family, Madison? Damien.
Which, I'm sorry, he just kind of showed up and then stayed.
Yeah, he just shows up, and he's like, hey, and he's basically wishing Eric's mom and Eric a Happy New Year and stuff like that.
He was returning some stuff he had borrowed.
That, too. And I invited him to play a game of Smash. And then he stays the whole rest of the party. Eric's checked out.
Right.
He's not really in charge of the party, and Eric's mom is out, which was a part of the agreement.
If I remembered how to spell it, I would have texted you, I leave this to you, Fiutsky.
Man, if you texted me that, I would have been like, hey, Damien, I don't fucking know you. You're making me really uncomfortable. Get out.
I'm sorry.
Because no one knew him, and he was more of a quiet type. Because if you don't know a guy and they're kind of normal social, not overly social or under social,
right,
you can easily connect, like, oh, that's the type of person you are. Okay. Nah, this guy's kind of like a veiled wall of personality to everyone at this party. No one knows him. And what was it? At one point, somebody complaining, it's like, dude, he's just eating all the fucking food. It's crazy. Go there and watch him. He's like a vacuum cleaner. And I'm like,
damn.
What? I was like, I don't think it's that bad. And then at one point, he just apparently picked up the whole bowl of Gardettos, brought it into the living room with him, and just starts eating it while lounged on the...
Holy shit, you should have kicked him out.
I think the physical act of trying to attend a party I wasn't invited to would cause me to combust.
Yeah.
How the fuck?
I don't know. Yeah, but some people were complaining he was drinking all the liquor and eating all the food. So... that was fucking hilarious to me at some level. And at the same time, also deeply concerning. Because I'm like, this isn't my house. I've never kicked someone out of somebody else's house. I didn't know, and he knew you guys. So I was like, clearly, if he was going to stab us or rob us, if he was that type of personality, they would have said something.
He's not crazy, but now I know he's an asshole.
I was, yeah, so it was this mixing of that. So we get to the Nidhogg tournament. The first round is me and Damien, just because of how things were drawn on the character selection. It goes on for 40 goddamn minutes.
Really?
What?
We're just running back and forth, and I'm like, you son of a bitch! It gets to a point where, like, 30 minutes in, people are fucking cheering for me. Because I'm the only one who's made progress the whole time. We get to the center screen, and then I fight my way back to the left. We get to the center screen, and then I fight my way back to the left. And it keeps going like that for 30 fucking minutes. And I start running, and they're like, yeah! And he throws a sword into my head, and they're like, oh! And it's so fucking hilarious, because not only is the parallel of they want this fucking fight to end, but there's the parallel of we don't fucking know this guy, and this guy's throwing the party. So of course we like him and want him to win. So it's just so goddamn funny to me that at this point this is how this is going, and I'm just laughing my ass off. He was also exceptionally good at Smash. Like it was me and him and Steve, I think, pulling the top 3 most of the time, which was amazing because Steve hasn't touched Smash since the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Like in over a decade.
Okay.
And he was fucking knocking it out of the park. And I'm like, here you are, like, I don't really like Smash. I'm not sure if, and I'm like, yeah, no, fuck you. Pick up
Is
that
this a
controller.
controller?
I don't. Yeah, and he's doing it on the
it's-
retarded shit. He's doing it on the gamepad. He's doing it on.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's doing it on the classic controller for the fucking Wii.
Oh.
He's just
Nice.
knocking it out of the park, and I'm like, yeah, that's the way we do it. But yeah, so Nidhogg tournament was pretty great. It was funny though because of that selection. It felt like the super major battle was the first one, and all the other ones were like lesser or less because they didn't last as long and they weren't as like so paralleled. I got to the end, and I think it was Brett who probably won. I forget who won because it just wasn't that hugely like tense as that first fucking battle. Mm-hmm. Also, I was drunk.
Yes.
But yeah, so then that battle happens, and Brett just does a thing, and it goes south really quickly.
Okay, good.
It was hilarious. Yeah, after that, I was really, 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 really drunk, and I was getting the drunk headaches that you described, where you drink a little, and then you get a bad headache, like immediately, as though you raced to the hangover.
Yes, exactly.
So I was getting that, because I was pretty thoroughly sauced. And also, like, I have this thing where I like being at a party so much, and I'm loud, and I'm energetic, and I'm like all over the place, where I get a really fucking bad headache, like, just from that, and then there's the alcohol. So I'm just like, So Towerfall, I'm not alive for, basically. People go through Towerfall and go through Trials Fusion, basically without me. I'm just dictating the, okay, so to get Nidhogg, go into that room to get Eric's PS4, and then for Trials, Brett, hook up your PS4, and Towerfall, we can do Bob's, and then and I'm just dictating and trying to organize, but I'm not playing them because I'm just like, I need this headache to stop.
Yeah.
And Veronica's like, I have pain relief pills, and I was like, yeah, can't you not take those with alcohol? And she's like, yeah, I think one of the 2 types causes ulcers.
Great.
I was like, which one? That seems super relevant right now.
I don't know. Have a Coke Zero.
So then, no. Didn't take either of those. But I felt pretty good in a short bit. After, what was it? I threw up something.
What did I vomit?
What did I vomit? I think it was grease, but that wouldn't make sense for the party. Because we didn't have greasy food. Oh wait, we had the lumpia. Lumpia's a little greasy. But yeah, we had delicious fucking subs from Publix with boar's head meat. We had a fucking lumpia made by Tosh. We had lots of chips and candies and shit, and fucking tasty ass liquor. That fucking sweet tea vodka and lemonade is the tastiest goddamn way to get drunk I've ever had.
It is some dangerous shit.
Yeah, it can be. But yeah, it was really good party. We went right back to Smash after that, and Smash held it through until the end. Damien passed out. Oh, I forgot the best part. Here's the best part. You weren't even here for this. So it hits 11:30. You know? It's 11:30. Damien's like, okay, I gotta go home and celebrate New Year's with my family. with my parents. But I'll be back.
I'll be back.
So
Wow.
he just leaves for, I shit you not, 30 minutes. He comes back 10 after and starts eating and drinking again.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I should have given you all authority to kick him the fuck out.
I don't know. As I said, I was like, I don't know this guy. Is he the friend your brother was playing Smash
Yes.
on? I could tell by his playing ability and the way he was playing. I was like, oh yeah, this is that guy. Okay, that makes sense. We tried to do teams, 8-player Smash, 2 people teams, so 4 teams. And accidentally, because of the way controllers were picked up and shit, it was me and Damien versus everyone, and we fucking landslided it. I was like, God damn it. Sorry, everyone. I didn't know who I was playing with. He left the last person's name signed in. But past that, we balanced it.
Okay.
But yeah, New Year's was fucking
That
awesome.
sounds like a fun time. Maybe next year I could go.
Yeah, maybe next year you two can come.
Yeah.
I made
Or we should just have another party.
It was-
I did get to vomit, so I got a little bit of
That's
the...
cool.
It was so fucking
The
good.
fun.
It was so fucking good. I seriously made a fucking blood pact with myself. I'm like, a life vow. I am never working New Year's again. I can't not have that once a year. That shit was so fucking good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We should just have a party.
What?
Like, at some... Like, we should just do that.
That's a slippery slope into Party Rock Town. I don't know.
I want to go to that town.
Okay.
I want to live there.
I miss Labor Day. Labor Day had donuts.
Labor Day did have donuts. We did like, and that was sort of the thing. Like, people like to make huge events out of important holidays like Christmas. Like, here's a bitchin' Christmas party. Here's a bitchin' 4th of July. But like for me, it was always like, nah, New Year's is the important one, and I'll pick like another fucking obscure one.
Yeah.
We did a Labor Day retro party or something. It was, yeah, I always enjoyed that shit. But yeah, maybe we'll throw another party.
Yeah.
I think you would be able to get away with it for the circumstance of just being like, hey, yeah, I wasn't there. Can we do another one? And
Slightly smaller without that Damien asshole.
without that Damien guy. Yeah, the amount of people who came was super fucking manageable in the space. Like, I honestly, we could have invited 3 more and still been fine.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was
worried about the seating. There was a couple people standing and stuff, but
yeah, but they were mostly doing it just to talk, and no one really minded standing. I know whenever I was, it was because I didn't want to be sitting.
okay.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, we should do that again. But yeah, in any case, so that was New Year's. How was your 2 New Year's?
So here's the thing about Tamiflu.
Uh-huh.
You're supposed to take that shit with food.
Oh no!
And you take... The way they phrase it is 1 pill twice a day, which is wrong. You take 2 pills a day.
Yeah, Jesus.
You know, shit that pill out and take it again. No, so I'm fucked up on the flu, and I'm standing there with my brand new box of Tamiflu. So I had orange juice that morning. End of list of things I had eaten.
Uh-oh.
So I pull out the Tamiflu, and I'm a big guy, and it purely out of habit, I take 2. I just pop 2 antivirals. All right, now I'm going to go sit on the couch and maybe take an... And I think maybe I'm That's weird. Maybe if I go to sleep really fast, that'll go... No. No, and I stand up, and I'm like... I didn't feel nauseous at all. There's no way. And like you're looking around your own body, because there is the only thing I hold as a human being able to possess true knowledge.
Yeah.
Concrete capital K knowledge is you are about to vomit.
Yeah, it's like the voice of God.
It is a physical truth. So I'm standing in that room, and I'm like, if I go to the left, there's the kitchen, and I could get some water, and this will pass. And so I'm wandering over toward the bathroom on the right, and I'm taking a couple steps forward and 1 step back, because no, I can hold this down. I don't want to vomit. I've got a whole day ahead of me, and I'm standing in the doorway, and I'm like, okay, final check. Is this happening? And my body responds by taking my shirt off. Oh. oh, this is apparently happening. So I'm kneeling down, shirtless, over the toilet, when I realize that I haven't vomited since I grew my hair out. And my hair is hanging down around my face. No, I caught it.
Oh, good.
I caught it in time.
Someone was there to hold your hair back. It was you.
My hands came up and I pushed my head through the hair up.
God damn.
And I'm sitting there mid-stream, so proud of myself. Because I've got my hair and I'm going to take the small victories right now. When I put my shirt back on, the goals will go back higher. But
right now, the goals are low to the ground.
This is what I've got,
Very
and
close.
I'm proud of it.
Have you hung out with Veronica while she's drunk?
We did drunk D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you? Were you there for that?
I believe I was.
Okay. Well, was it Tosh?
Yeah,
After we
sure.
left the party, Tosh was like, hanging out with Veronica while she's drunk is awesome. I'm like, yeah, it's really great. Like, it's awesome. She's like, I got the second cup, and by the time, and we both had very fucking heavily, pretty large cups of the fucking sweet tea vodka and lemonade.
Uh-huh.
She's like, I got the second cup, and by the time I started drinking it, I realized the first cup had more liquor in it than I thought. I'm like, oh yeah, I got all the way through that second cup before I had that realization about the first cup. That is why I'm this drunk.
Oh, man, you want to have a lot of fun. You do what I did during Justin Denny's Halloween party a few years ago.
Yeah.
You bring SoCo, and you bring 100 proof SoCo.
What?
Because it tastes the same in Coke.
Oh my god.
So you start passing out SoCos and Coke, and then you start passing out 100 proof SoCos and Coke.
Hi, welcome to the party. It's like, and now this
Welcome to
is
the
the
real
start of the party.
The real party
Welcome to the
starts
true
begins here.
party.
This is really good. What is it, SoCo?
Yeah, I was trying to think of something equally as tasty because the pale ale that Brett brought was pretty tasty, but it wasn't tasty on the same scale that the sweet tea vodka and lemonade was. So maybe that. Next party we do those two. Yes.
Well, those are some sweet tea, because you've got to mix sweet tea vodka with Mike's Hard Lemonade and then finish it with regular lemonade. Yeah.
I've never... What?
Yeah.
Sweet tea vodka
Uh-huh.
with Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yeah, we call it a filthy Rochelle.
A filthy Rochelle, right. I forgot about that. Oh,
Yep.
That's great. Yeah, no. We should bring both of those combinations.
Mm-hmm.
We should, yes.
We're like, for science, haha!
Science, yes, not booze times.
I'll try and billy up a drink. Like every now and then, 3 or 4 times in my life, I've just looked at a counter full of liquor and gone, mix. This is delicious. What did I put in this? Because there's scary shit is possible.
Yeah.
And I know this for 2 reasons. 1, Long Island iced tea exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, Justin Denny's friend Billy made me a drink that I know had vodka and Crown Royal and I think tequila and orange juice in it, and it tasted like chocolate.
That's incredible. But yeah, hopefully some better games come out this year, so that way next time we do a New Year's party, we can have even better
Hopefully, it's 2015. This is the golden year.
It's the fucking year, man.
But all the games I can think of are like single player.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can I don't know how many players you can do the Chalice dungeon in Bloodborne.
It would be pretty neat to just send 2 people in and watch.
Yeah. Doing a dungeon crawl at a party would be kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Just have
It's over there. I fucking see it.
Some sort of cooperative, like, dungeon-y thing. Yeah, I want that a lot.
Or maybe someone will finally get up off their ass and make the D&D game that you can actually DM.
No. No one will ever do that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's GigaBoots podcast. Expect to see normal content going up again sometime soon. We actually have a backlog that should have been going up this whole time, but I was so sick I couldn't even drive to Bob's to upload it. And Bob was apparently sick too. What was it? You were suggesting, well, since we're all sick, we should have Bob do the Bobcast.
Yes. No, and then
Bob.
Rosa Chan was like, it should be Bob and second Bob on the screen.
Yeah.
Doing this.
I'm the other Bob over here. I still wake up at night.
GigaBoots has been brought to you by the support of our producers Vincent Poverk and Cywolf via our Patreon. Consider becoming a GigaBoots patron today.